Another high school football season is upon us. We'll preview all 6 of the high schools with our coaches next on Conversation. Welcome to Conversations, everyone. I'm your host, John Nelson, and this is our annual football preview show with the AISD. As far as the district alignments and the realignments for this year, some of those schools stay the same. They'll play each other. Some are completely different. In District 4 6A, Mansfield is the addition. Pascal and North Crowley also stayed. In District 9 5A, Seguin welcomes just about everyone new. The 2 Burleson schools, tough opponents as well, and Everman and Crowley. And finally, our 4 scheduled AISD-TV games this year: Lamar Sam, Joshua Seguin, Arlington Bowie, and Martin and Arlington. Well, the Arlington Colts, a playoff team last year at 5-6. Head coach Scott Peach in his 14th year. He welcomes 53 lettermen this year, 15 starters on offense and defense. And Scott, you got to feel pretty good about the upcoming season.
We're really excited. You know, it's been 3 years since we've had some size in the offensive line and defensive line. And this year we've got that, so we're excited about that. And then our athleticism is really good right now. We've got 6 sophomores that started for us last year and 10 juniors on our team that started. And all those kids are back. So, yeah, we're really excited at Arlington High.
Total numbers participating in football this year, up from last year, down, or about the same?
We've been pretty consistent. It's growing, though. I think, you know, any time in your community when the excitement of the new MAC facility is happening, we have a new athletic director and Coach Kevin Oz. When things like that happen, people kind of flock to Arlington, and so I think there's a lot of growth there. I think we're up to about 270 kids now throughout our program, 9 through 12, and it's an exciting time right now. You know, it's, as we always say, it's sweet to be in Colt country, and we feel that way this year.
Let's talk about the MAC, Scott. It was a tight squeeze, kind of a tight fit, but it's basically done.
Well, it was perfect for us at Arlington High. We were able to drop it right on our practice field 1, which is right across from a main game field. And you talk an amazing thing for our kids, for our community, to have the opportunity for everybody to kind of gather around this new facility. And you look at it, it's going to take care of our band, it's going to take care of our drill team, it's going to take care of our cheerleaders, all of our outdoor sports, so many other things, part of Arlington High. We're going to do indoor testing there for our principal, he and I talked about the other day. So there's a lot of great things that are going to happen at Arlington High because of this indoor facility. And it's amazing to think that we did it 6 times across the city of Arlington for 6 different schools, and give a lot of credit to our school board. And then, of course, Kevin Oz for piloting this. And
your offices will be housed in there as well, right?
Yes, sir. A lot of people are going to get to come over. All of our outdoor sport coaches will come over there. And so it's definitely a blessing.
All right. I know you're proud of what happened 7-on-7 and the Big Man Challenge in Abilene.
Yeah, so I think it's 6 years now, over the past 8 years, that we won the Big Man State Championship. Philip Nelson has been with me all 14 years at Arlington High. He's my offensive line coach and coordinator. And he leads those kids and has done an amazing job. I think we had 42 kids competing at some point for us in our program in the Big Man Championship. And then 7-on-7, I was very pleased. We had a good group of kids led by Anthony McKee, one of our fathers, and he took them down to College Station. We competed well and got to the winners bracket tournament, and then got knocked off by DeSoto, but they knocked off a lot of people that day, so we were pleased.
All right, Scott, your quarterback, Kalen Day, all he did last year was get the job done.
Well, he's special. You know, Kalen Day is probably about 5'4", but he has tremendous moxie. He's an incredible competitor, and he makes our offense go because he makes everybody better around him. He gets the ball in the hands of the guys that need it. And when you've got pieces like Rashad Anderson at receiver, Kenlon McCray in the backfield, DeMonte Davis in the slot, you know, you don't have to be the guy at quarterback as far as coming up with all those yards. You just got to get the right people, and he does that for us.
Where's your strength on defense?
Well, you know, Ben Carroll is back. He's going to take the place of Matthew Anunda, who was the defensive MVP of the state last year for 6A football, and he's going to take over our middle linebacker position. He'll be a 3-year starter. Sean Steele's an outstanding player. He'll play free safety and corner for us. Caleb McKee is moving over from offensive tight end to defense. He's got a great offseason under his belt this year, and he'll be our starting defensive end. So we've got a lot of really good pieces. Darian Ruffin was sophomore MVP of the year last year, and he's back at corner for us. So we're excited, and we're going to be a lot stronger on defense than we were last year.
Okay, Coach, the schedule this year includes Mansfield, but for the first 5 games, I can't ever remember 4 of the first 5 games are away, 4 of the last 5 games are at home. That may be a first at Arlington High.
It's been strange, but at the end of the day, we don't really care where we play. We're excited about the opportunity to compete. If you look at it, our 3 non-district games, all 3 of those teams went to the second round of the playoffs last year in 6A football. We're going to scrimmage South Lake Carroll because we want to jump out and see kind of where we stand early. And then with district play, we've got North Crowley and Mansfield. And as you said, 4 of those 5 games are on the road. So we're going to find out a lot about our football team early. The exciting thing is that when the games start counting down the way, 4 of those last 5 games will be at UTA. All of those games, for the most part, will be against Arlington opponents. And so we like our chances.
Your biggest concern between now and the opening week?
I think the main thing is just staying healthy. We're banged up pretty good in certain spots, and so making sure that we go into that first ball game with all our pieces healthy. But as far as a football team, I love our culture right now. We've added a lot of good coaching pieces to some of the coaches who've been with me all 14 years that has really changed our dynamic in a great way. And then the kids right now, because of that, have a true commitment. Our slogan this year is 10 units strong. We're buying into that because we've got 10 units on our varsity football team, 10 coaches, and we feel like that if every one of those units is strong, that we're going to have a great process and a good football team.
Scott, should be exciting. It's always a dogfight. Good luck to the Colts.
Thanks. Make sure you're there, John.
The Bowie Volunteers last year, a playoff team, finished 6-5 overall, 5-2 in the district. Coach DeArman in his 4th year. Coach, you lost a lot of players on defense and maybe some on offense that, the natural graduation process, but you do return Donovan Davenport and receiver Kobe Daniels. A big 1-2 punch for you. Absolutely.
We lose what is probably our best running back we've ever had come through Bowie, and DeAndre Cook, but we're replacing him with 3 running backs that I feel are going to be able to carry the load for us. We have 3 kids that have a different dynamic to them. Donovan coming back as a returning quarterback. He's more mature, his arm's stronger, he's faster. He's a little bit lighter than he was last year. Mm-hmm. And then Kobe being a part of the 4x4 state championship track team that we have. Also counterpart to him is Braden Johnson, who was also on that team. Those are 2 of our receivers. And then Ty, my son, will be the slot receiver. And then we're going to have, we're still trying to figure out who's going to be the outside receiver. We've got a couple kids fighting for it. One of them's a sophomore. And then we have 2 juniors that are fighting for that other outside receiver spot.
Coach, in the off-season, who did well in your 7-on-7 tournament?
Well, Donovan had a great summer. Like I said, his arm strength has increased, and his awareness and his vision downfield. And that was probably one of the greatest things that could happen to us, is qualifying for the state tournament allowed us to play 4 more games than we had played against great competition, Lake Travis, Manville, and you get a chance to go against really, really good teams, and the quarterback's got to make decisions. And had we not made it to the state tournament, he wouldn't have had that chance. Braden Johnson had an incredible summer for us. Kobe Daniels had an incredible summer for us. Defensively, Coy Miller, leader of the secondary. He played corner for us last year. We're going to play him safety and corner. He's got a chance to be as good as we've had in a long time. And then we return, and actually we have 9 starters on defense that are seniors. And that's going to be huge for us with Livingston Pagofi at defensive tackle and Kylan Jones at linebacker. Both of them had a great summer, and they're bigger than they were. They've probably put on 10, 12 pounds. They're running well. We've got other outside safety is Damon Sellers, and he's kind of been under the radar. He played sparingly last year, but he's had an incredible spring, 6'2", 185 pounds. He's got a chance to be really good.
You know, your secondary last year, Coach, was fast. It was very, very good and potentially a lot better this year.
I believe so. I think that coming into spring football, my vision was that our secondary was going to be our strength. And then after seeing the growth in the front six guys, I'm not so sure that our front six is not going to be our strength. So it's going to match really well. Those guys have played together for a long time, and like I said, there's 9 of them that are seniors, and that's what we've always asked for, is to be senior-led, and we're going to have an opportunity this year.
If the front six, if they do their job, less pressure on the secondary.
That's absolutely right.
Coach, how do you feel about the district and your schedule overall?
I feel really good about it. You know, with the district, there's not an off week. Got great coaches all across our district in Arlington, and then as well as Mansfield and Pascal. I don't know that we'll have a chance to recoup. I think it's going to be a dogfight. We got some really good coaches. We got really good teams.
Coach, what is the new indoor facility going to mean at Bowie?
Well, the biggest thing for us is our weight room right now is 2,300 square feet roundabout. Our weight room in the indoor is going to be 7,500 square feet. So where we have to take our kids and we have to split them into 3 different groups to be able to get everybody in the weight room, it cuts down on the time that we could be in there. So the biggest benefit for us is having everybody be able to get in the weight room at the same time and get the amount of lifting in that we need to get in. It's going to be awesome to have something so special for these kids, to you know, be able to practice inside, to be able to have a weight room that can hold us, and to have you know, just a new facility. We've been needing this for a long time.
It's a benefit, and you're the first to use it.
Absolutely. Exciting.
Coach Barnett Junior High has been very good to you over the last couple of years.
Absolutely. We're the incoming 9th grade group has not lost a game in 2 years. The group that just left as 9th graders, they're going to be sophomores, only lost 1 game. So that group combined is going to be very solid, and we're looking forward to the future. There's a couple of those cats that are going to, if they have a good fall camp and maybe midway through the season, they're going to have a chance to play up if they can handle it.
And we'll keep an eye on them. Coach, good luck to you and the Bowie Volunteers.
I appreciate you.
The Lamar Vikings are coached by Laban DeLay in his 2nd year. An outstanding season last year for the Vikes, 11-2 overall, made it to the Division II regional semis, losing to Mansfield by less than a touchdown. The Vikings were 6-1 in district. Coach, you lose to a team that's now in the district, but there's no slack off, is there?
No, this district is very competitive. We welcome the challenge of Mansfield coming in, but absolutely it's an upgrade for our district, and there's no slouches. So we have to prepare each and every week like it's a playoff game.
But looking back, Coach, what a season it was, and that had to translate into these seniors really wanting a little more this year.
Yeah, the juniors, after the season ended last year, we had a team meeting, and the juniors gathered together, and we emphasized the point that we need to elevate our game and elevate everything that we want to do in life. And so off-season was great as far as the commitment to the process and doing things each and every day to make ourselves better as a football team for this coming year.
All right, events some of the players took part in off-season.
Well, you know, everybody runs track, and they might not all get on the track meets, but everybody runs track, and that was one big thing that I haven't done in the past, but they showed a commitment to that. Next thing is our big man. We started a big man competition, and we hosted one at our place. So a lot of our big guys that aren't involved in 7-on-7, they were able to participate in those activities. And then obviously 7-on-7, you know, the tradition that Lamar High School has with 7-on-7 that I inherited, I've embraced, and the kids embraced, the community has, and they were fortunate enough to go down to state again. And so you combine all those things together, and we say that we had a successful offseason.
Laban, everybody thinks, oh, the loss of Shane Buechele, but you really weren't one-dimensional last year, and you're not going to be one-dimensional again this year.
No, and that's what I've tried to stress to other people, is that we're both balanced, run and pass, yardage and attempts and so forth. And Shane Buechele obviously is an an outstanding athlete, an outstanding quarterback, you know, about to start at University of Texas. But at the same time, it wasn't a one-man show. We really embraced the fact that it's a team effort, and so the other guys have bought into that concept, to that culture, and so you know, yes, we miss those seniors, but now it's the next man up, and this group of juniors that are seniors now, they're ready to go.
All right, what about the guys up front that'll open up holes for Mr. Polk?
Yeah, you know, we graduated a couple, but we have a lot of those guys returning back, and because of move outs, but we have a couple move ins, and then those JV guys are going to have to step up that played JV last year, but we feel good about our offensive line. They had again another great offseason in the weight room, and we feel like it's going to be a good push for not only Rashad Polk but Kendall Burt as well. We got two running backs coming back, so we feel like our run attack with Chance at quarterback at the helm, we're going to be balanced again.
All right, Coach, let's look at your schedule. There's a game in the non-district part that's, I know, maybe uncomfortable, but that's the South Grand Prairie game. How are you going to approach that?
Yeah, obviously, it's not going to be awkward for anybody except for myself and Coach Barden, who's on my staff, which he was on a SGP as well. And then the coaches on the SGP staff. The kids, you know, it's another football game for them, and that's how we're gonna take care of it. But going across and shaking Coach Whitson's hand, Brent Whitson and I have coached together for 12 or 13 years out of my 22-year career, so obviously we have a strong relationship and a strong bond, but it is a football game and it's about the kids, it's not about him and I.
All right, the overall numbers, has that increased from last year, just the total participation in football?
You know, our sophomore, junior, and seniors have risen a little bit. Our freshmen, we're a little surprised. We're expecting a little bit more. We're about 15, 20 short than what we thought we're going to have, but it happens every year. Those freshmen, that first day of school, for some reason they don't think they need to show up for fall camp. They come at that first day of school, and so I think that we'll get those numbers above what we had last year.
What's your biggest concern between now and the first game?
Improve each and every day on the fundamentals and stay healthy. You know, we talk about the process and we talk about what is now, what's important right now, and what's important right now will be your daily goal. And if you improve on what is important right now in your daily goal, that becomes a weekly goal. So we're not focused about SGP or Fossil Ridge or anybody else right now. We're focused on the Vikings getting better each and every day.
All right, that's Coach Laban DeLay of the Lamar Vikings. Coach, good luck this year.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And the Martin Warriors last year winning district with a record of 7-0. Overall, Martin finished 10-3. Head coach Bob Wager in his 11th year, over 140 wins. And coach, you enter at least district play, having won 16 consecutive district games. I know that's a number that you and your staff is really proud of.
Oh, absolutely, as is our community, and that's no easy task. There are such well-coached football teams here, certainly in this city and also in our district, and we're awful proud of it. Certainly that's not the goal. The goal is to try to approach each game one at a time, but when you put a string like that together, it's certainly a source of pride for us.
Coach, what about some of the off-season programs the kids took part in and maybe some of their successes?
Well, I think the greatest success comes in the training aspect of it. We've got a vast majority of our football players on our track team. We live in the weight room in the off season, and certainly throughout the summer. We actually had 500 student athletes go through our summer strength and conditioning camp. Now that's not all football, that's all sports and all ages, but the more the merrier, and we've seen that program grow, and so the basis for us of our optimism is in our work ethic.
Even before the season starts, Coach, you were away in New York, but some of the kids took part in the 4th of July parade. So we saw some of the district champions get ready for this year.
Absolutely, and as we mentioned before the show, I think the 4th of July parade is one of the finest things that this great city does. And so to have an opportunity to go out there and represent the Southwest side and certainly our school, our community, and our football program, with the band, the cheerleaders, the trailer, all of our football players, it was great to be invited, and we enjoyed ourselves very much.
Coach, where's your strength this year on offense and on the defensive side of the ball?
We'll start defensively. We are very excited about the team speed that we have, and that really starts with a dominant defensive line, Spencer Trussell, KT Allen, Jorge Hinojosa. backed up by a group of linebackers, returning starter Montrell Smith, and then a very speedy secondary that we're excited about. Offensively, our offense will be focused around Juma Otoviano, who had a terrific breakout sophomore season last year as a running back. We have an all-district tight end returning in Braden Willis, and Jacob Holland, who is our starting right tackle, has started 2 straight years for us, and he'll be a junior. So we're excited about where he is right now and really where our whole offensive unit is.
All right, Coach, the addition of Mansfield in the district.
Natural rivalry is that they're our neighbor, and we're excited about it.
Same colors.
They you know, they went to the semifinals last year, which obviously piques your interest, and that's exciting for us. As you know, by our non-district schedule, we love a challenge, and I think it's our homecoming game. I think that's a game that you go into and say, you know what, you better get your chin strap buckled a little bit tighter for this one, and so we're looking forward to it, and we appreciate the fact that they're going to bring a good football team into Cravens Field.
Yeah, no easy slouch, even with a scrimmage opening up with Allen.
No, we'll start with Allen. We've done that now for 8 years, and,
Right.
and we've helped one another improve, and I think that's been evident. And then we open with Dallas Skyline. We go to South Lake Carroll, and then against South Grand Prairie, and South Grand Prairie may be the most talented of the bunch. So, you know, we believe in playing really, really good football teams early, and I think we're at the point right now where both programs help each other get better, and that's the goal.
Yeah, those 3 teams, Skyline, South Lake, and South Grand Prairie, I think collectively had over 25 wins last year.
Yeah, I don't doubt that, and wins against good teams. And so, you know, certainly with Skyline, they've been a perennial top 10 team in this state, sometimes ranked in the nation. In all of the games that we've played with them, this is year number 5. I don't think there's ever been a game that's been determined by more than 5 points. So you have to keep that one. To have an opportunity to go into Dragon Stadium in week 2 and play against really one of the great football traditions in the whole country in South Lake Carroll, we're excited about that atmosphere. And then South Grand Prairie beat us a year ago after leading at halftime, and so we're looking forward to that rematch as well.
And as it turned out, Coach, this year's schedule, I think you have 4 games at UTA. Is that right?
We do, and we're really trying to move back there. Martin used to play at UTA. And, you know, I just think it's a terrific facility. It's awful close to home for us, much closer than Cravens Field. And so we've made a conscientious effort to try to play some playoff games in there and gradually see if we can move our football team back into that home stadium.
I know you would certainly encourage everyone to come out at UTA.
Well, absolutely. This is Texas high school
That's
football,
right.
and so it doesn't get any better than this time of year. Most of all, we love the fall, and it's here, so we're awful excited.
Coach, if it comes down to a close contest, you have a long line of successful kickers, Ben Groden, Jaden Obercrom, and now Patrick Grady.
Right.
He can hit it from anywhere.
Certainly that's a big part of it, but certainly the rest of the aspect as well. When you talk about the ability to pinpoint your kicks on kickoffs, that's very, very dangerous. We play a very aggressive style of special teams, and to have that person that can place the ball where you like, it allows you to do a lot of different things, and I think it's the X factor in a lot of games. So we're awful excited about having a returning all-state kicker coming back in Patrick Grady. And without a doubt, he's following what has been a tremendous line of kickers, from Jaden Obercrom to certainly Ben Grogan, who is a Groza Award finalist right now on the watch list, to Spencer Evans, who's at Baylor, and now it's Patrick Grady's turn, and we're excited about him.
Coach, how do you handle that in practice? Is that the last thing you do, kick coverage and pinpointing the kickoffs, or is that some of the first things you do?
Well, we designate a coach to work with our kickers, and so they have a scripted practice for 90 minutes or whatever amount of time that we're practicing on that day, just like every other position has their own position coach, and I think that's a big part of it. Obviously, you have to have good players. If you don't have great players, you have no chance to be able to perform at a high level. But the fact that we commit the time individually with a position-specific coach, and then we also spend a great deal of time on special teams on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We start every day with punt. We finish every day with PAT, field goal, and kick return. And we expect a great return on that time investment, and fortunately in years past we have.
All right, Coach, could be another good year for Martin. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Thrilled to be here.
23 Letterman return this year for head coach Anthony Criss and the Sam Houston Texans. Coach Criss in his 6th year. And Coach, I guess overall last year, you really couldn't find a consistent groove and that translated both offensively and defensively. That's got to change early in the season, does it not?
Yes, it does, John. What we have to do is get out to a better start. Last year we had a great scrimmage, and then we went into week 1 against Manor and just scored offensively, but we gave up a lot of points. And then we kind of got into an offensive groove there a little bit, and then got into Bowie, played them in overtime, and then got to the game in Martin, then I had the stroke. And after I had the stroke, then things just kind of went downhill. So, but this year we're looking forward to getting out to a better start, being consistent. We need to be consistent. I've been preaching all camp long, consistency. We have to be good. We have to play 80 snaps. Can't play 60 snaps out of the 80. We have to play 80 out of 80.
All right, the overtime loss to Bowie to open up district play. Did that weigh on the kids the rest of the year? Did that play on their minds maybe the rest of the season?
It weighed on me. I don't know about the kids, but it was a very emotional time. It was a great ball game, and we worked so hard. I think the kids poured so much into that game because of the natural rivalry that we have with Bowie, and it was just we led 21-0 at one point in that game. I think it was a lingering effect. You talk about don't let one game beat you twice.
Right.
I think that one game beat us 5 times because we never could get past that. It was just the next week. It was all about just what should have happened. So we talked about that. We learned from it. We moved on from it. We talked about adversity, what happens when things don't go your way. I mean, it was an emotional ball game, so hopefully that we learn from that and understand this group will come back and fight hard.
Who are your playmakers on offense this year?
Well, we have Jacob Dollar, who took every snap last year as a sophomore quarterback. He's coming back. He's going to be a junior. Arm is much better, much stronger. He's smarter, reading better defenses. We got DeMarcus Allen, who's also playing wide receiver for us, leading receiver. And then Darius Blake playing running back. So we like to say we have a 3-headed monster there with Dollar, Allen, and Blake. Hopefully we're going to be more diverse this year. You know, last year was all about Peyton Pickett. It was all about getting Pickett the ball, 1,700 yards, 17 touchdowns. I mean, every ball game was Peyton, you're going to carry it 30 times. This time we're going to spread it around. Going to throw it a little bit more. You know, we have a young offensive line, but we have great wide receivers. Samari Session outside. We got 6'2" receivers, 6'3" receivers. So hopefully we can be Criss this year.
Okay, Coach. Defensively, you can't miss Trevon Mason. What, 6'5" and 280?
Right.
Or is that liberal?
Well, 6'5", 280. My phone has been ringing off the hook all summer long about Trevon Mason. 6'5", 280-pound defensive end. Looks like he's about 230 pounds. I mean, really put together really well. Very explosive. I think we're looking for maybe 15 to 20 sacks out of him this year. Probably going to get double teamed, but he's going to lead that defense. Defensive line is the strength of our football team. With Trevon Mason, Darius King, Cameron Pickens, those guys are going to lead us up front. And a very speedy linebacker core. We got Jalen Vincent, Trey Flood Hensley, Keyshawn Graves, and Daquan Graves, a pretty fast bunch. So we're looking forward. That front 7 should be pretty exciting to watch.
Coach, physically, are you where you need to be right now before the season opener?
Hope so, John. I mean, right now I went to the doctor. Everything turned out good. Matter of fact, I get that question about 8 times a day. So
The day's not over with yet.
I know it's out, but I'm feeling really good. Lost some weight. Go to the doctor every 2 or 3 months. Get everything's checked out well. So I should be back on the sideline. It's gonna be a little change for me. I'm a coach from the press box this year, just for precautionary measures. You know, just take everything easy. People think my blood pressure is going to rise higher in the press box, but I think we'll be okay up there.
You know, those walls have ears.
I know. I won't be yelling and screaming a lot, so. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to start out up in the press box, at least until the heat subsides. And then when it gets cooler in October, then I'll probably move back to the sideline. Or if we're winning ball games, you know how coaches are, we're superstitious, I'll stay up in the press box.
Okay, Anthony, let's talk about the district this year and the schedule. Mansfield comes into the district, certainly no slouch, maybe a team to beat week in and week out. And your non-district schedule with Seguin, North Mesquite, you got Duncanville, O.D. White, you got a scrimmage with Seguin.
Right, you know, easy schedule, right?
Yeah.
Just pick it up there.
Piece of cake there.
Well, we kind of figured that what we needed to do in the schedule this year with this next realignment was to measure where our football team was. Play quality folks with great programs. That's what we wanted to do. Mansfield coming into the district, I mean, we upgraded. No slight to Weatherford,
right,
but we upgraded. We got a state-ranked team. We lost an unranked team and got a state-ranked team. So Mansfield's coming in with about 19 D1s. You know, got Kennedy Brooks, Debo on the defensive side of the ball, coming out of semifinal, you know, March last year. Those guys do a great job. So The last time that we had this kind of district with DeSoto, Duncanville, and Cedar Hill, the Arlington schools fared pretty well. So we look forward to the competition. We love the competition, and we have to get ready for it. Therefore, we scheduled Duncanville, North Mesquite, OD Wide. All three of those teams are going to be really good to get us ready for district play.
I was going to say, after the Criss Bowl, you
yes,
got
after
Lamar.
the Criss Bowl, right, got Lamar. So we have to go that way. We have to get in that direction because the frame of mind has to be, we're going to play week in, week out. Pascal is a much improved football team. North Crowley, much improved. So we're talking about 7 different ball games that's going to be probably tooth and nail. You know, it's going to be nail biters. It's going to be there. So we have to get ready for that. And the best way to get ready for that is a tough scrimmage with Seguin. You know, they have a great ball club coming back. Coach Lynn does a great job with his guys. So we're just going to make sure that we can get ready. We battle tested in preseason. Preseason is not going to put you in the playoffs or out of the playoffs, but we want to know where our football team is. We want to be able to measure our football team, getting ready for this very difficult district. Finally,
Coach, having to coach some of the games, as you say, at least to begin the year in the press box, have you been fit for a seatbelt?
No, I have not. But, you know, most of my career, John, I was up in the press box, my offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. So I really enjoyed those times up there, but I just got to make sure that the glass is okay up there and make sure that the tabletop is okay up there. And, you know, we're going to try to soundproof that room the best we can to make sure everything goes well.
We'll see if that's in the budget.
Yes, sir.
Coach, good luck to you and the Texans this year.
Well, thank you.
The Seguin Cougars this year find themselves in a new district, District 9 5A. Seguin finished 4-6 last year overall. Head coach Carlos Lynn in his 9th year. And Coach, what about the new district? You have Everman coming in, the 2 Burleson schools, and Joshua. Tougher than last year, about as equal?
Well, it's still Texas high school football. When you go into a new district, you know, there's always some things that you like to say are favorable. In comparison to the district that we were in. You know, we had Lancaster, who was a state semifinalist, you know, state finalist one year, and you had your perennials with Timberview and Summit, you know, all great athletes. Top to bottom, it might not be as tough, but it's still, you know, a real tough district. You know, they're losing Alito and gaining Seguin, so they ought to be feeling pretty good too as well.
With realignment, did you expect to see the 2 Burleson schools in?
I really didn't know what to expect, John. I actually thought we were going to stay the same. I thought we may have had an addition with Midlothian, but Midlothian replaced us and we moved out. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that we weren't in the same district. I didn't think there was any way that we were not tied to the Mansfield schools, being that we're all so close. So it was It was a good change for us.
Okay, Coach, for Seguin this year, 9 starters return on defense. Is that your strength?
That is our strength. You know, we have a lot of kids coming back, and we're excited about our prospects on defense. We got guys that have done real well for us, and we're looking forward to really doing some good things on the defense side of the ball.
And Cortland Clark, your free safety, has been all-district at 2 different positions. Will he be a free safety again this year?
He's going to be whatever we need him to be. He's one of those Troy Polamalu type kids. Wherever we need him, he's just so smart. You know, he's innately smart. He's real physical, very fast, and just understands the game and the scheme as we do it at Seguin on defense. So he's invaluable.
Coach, with your district schedule this year, you opened at home with West Mesquite. 2 of your first 3 games are at Wildman, so that kind of bodes well if the players get off to that start that they want to.
Absolutely. You know, we have a youth movement. You know, I have like 13 sophomores playing up this year, so having a favorable home schedule and being around some friendly surroundings and environment, I think that's going to help in the maturing of some of our young guys having that familiarity.
Are you top-heavy in seniors, the junior class about as equal as sophomores this year?
Actually, I'm a little down in seniors this year, but it's a strong core of leaders. I think we'll have about 15 or 16 seniors when we normally have 20 to 25.
Okay, offensively, Caden Morton, the quarterback, good size, good speed. Talk about his progress that you've seen over the last 2 years and the players around him this season.
Well, you know, Caden, you know, he's a youngster. He's going to be a sophomore. Got cleared in the spring to play a little baseball. You know, he's a 2-sport guy. He's a pitcher. He's thrown 91 this summer with the summer league team. He's got a couple of baseball offers already as a sophomore. So he's gonna be you know, a real just a jewel for us, and trying to get him acclimated to the speed of Friday night football. You know, coming from being a freshman to playing on Friday night, it's a huge jump. So our staff, we have to do a real good job of managing him, managing the plays, and making sure that the youngsters around him are comfortable and putting them in a great position to be successful.
Finally, Coach, your special teams this year, kicking game and all the others.
Well, I tell you what, this year, you know, my defensive coordinator has been getting on me by field position, and we've tried to do several different things, but I've recruited a couple of soccer player kickers that's going to be outstanding for us. Our kick coverage should be great. We should be able to get a lot of touchbacks this year, and that's going to help us in the field position with our already stacked defense. You know, so that's going to be a real good addition to what we're already doing.
Coach, I know you can't wait. Good luck to you and the Cougars this year.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Our thanks to all 6 coaches in the district. AISD-TV will be covering 4 games for you this year, and a pretty good schedule. We begin on Thursday at Wildman in the district at Sam Houston and Lamar. We follow that up on a Friday contest also at Wildman. We see Seguin and Joshua. We're at Wildman again for the Bowie Arlington contest. We end on Friday, October 28th at UT's Maverick Stadium. It's Martin and Arlington. That's our show. Until next time, this is John Nelson saying so long for conversation.